It is time for Joe Reichel and Damage Control. What happened to the song? Joe, where are they? Where's Joe? How come I don't hear you?
I'm right here.
What am I doing wrong here?
Turn something up.
Hold on. I'll figure this out. Now try it.
Try what?
There you are. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Trying to control my damage over here. Oh, look at your picture. Your camera fell down. Hold on. I'll fix this. There you go. Now all you fans can see you.
Can we see me now? Here I am.
Do you know we had an offer to do a flash mob outside the window?
We did?
Yeah.
When?
Maybe a week and a half ago, maybe. Somebody said they'd like to do a flash mob, and then they called to ask permission, and the mall said, nope, can't do that. So now it's not going to happen. I know what you're going to say. You're not supposed to ask permission.
Don't flash mobs just happen?
Well, this is a polite one. Very polite. They don't want to break any rules.
Okay, so...
Well, it was going to be out here, outside our window, so it would have been fun. We could have turned the camera and got them dancing or freezing.
Who was this for?
Well, nobody said. It was just kind of asking me if I thought it'd be okay to do one, and I said, sure, no problem with me. But they went into the mall and asked. I guess they phoned them, and well, they said, sorry, can't do it. It might cause some damage.
Right. People might get
might have to call
obstructed
Joe.
by they might not be able to get into the mall. That's funny.
That is funny.
I think that would be a good thing.
Well, a polite group like that, they're not going to take off their clothes. They're probably just going to freeze, or we'll start singing or something like that. That'd be cool, I think.
I think there should be more flash mobs.
I think so. So how you doing?
Like flash flooding. And flashes of lightning.
No, well, there you go. Now, what a segue, huh? Right to what we want to talk about, right?
Speaking of that flash storm that came through last week, a lot of rain, and as a result, we got a lot of phone calls the following day because of water intrusion into homes.
Just came in, huh?
Yes, and that's something that, it's like a one-time thing or something that's been happening for a while. One home that I looked at yesterday got called out to, and I'm looking at, and they've had damage over time. The wood floor was turning colors in a certain area, and they weren't sure what was causing it. Thought might have been the dog. I don't know why they would have thought that, but anyway, people look for all kinds of reasons as to why there might be different colored flooring.
I've used that line myself.
Right.
What is that? I don't know.
That's the dog.
It might have been. I'm not going to say for sure.
So, but, I got up on the roof and was looking at things, and they've got an area, it's, the way the roof comes together that definitely causes an issue. Not sure if that's where it's coming from or if it's water coming from maybe the sprinkler system that's getting in the house.
Oh, that's not good.
But I checked the drywall, and the drywall, had high levels of moisture in it.
Oh, no.
Used the moisture meter to check.
Does drywall that's been wet,
yes,
that is then dried, is it ruined, basically?
It depends.
Really?
It depends how long it was wet for. And then, if it got dried properly, quickly and properly. So, not always. Sometimes it's best to remove the drywall and replace it. Sometimes it can be dried and it's just as good as it was before.
Oh, really?
If it stays wet for an extended period of time, usually it loses its consistency and is no longer any good.
Basically powder that's going to fall down any minute, right?
Right.
Huh. And is there different levels of drywall? This is probably a dumb question, but I mean,
there's different thicknesses.
But I mean, as far as price, like let's say everything's the same.
Well, there's different thicknesses of drywall. There's 1/2 inch and then there's 5/8. The 5/8 is usually for your ceiling. They use a thicker board for the ceiling. So there's not like one company that makes the higher quality? Higher quality. I don't know. But there are different, levels. Like there's certain areas where you'd only want to use like green board, and that's for in a wet area. Your bathrooms or somewhere it's going to get a lot of moisture, maybe and there also is exterior drywall too, that you use for outdoor.
No, in an area like the bathroom where it's likely to, if you have a wooden floor, if the water is likely to get in there from the shower, from the toilet, who knows what from. Can you actually put something on the wooden floor to make it less likely to be affected by water?
As far as a finisher?
Like coat it with something to make it waterproof?
Well, there are all kinds of different finishing materials that, like sealers that can be used, and some of them are better to use in certain areas like that. I would recommend not using wood floor in a bathroom. I mean, that would be the best bet. But I mean, a lot of times people have them in kitchens and things like that.
If it is a wood house, as opposed to a wood floor placed on a concrete floor, you know what I mean? It's actually a wooden house, like the old radio station.
Oh, you're talking like a wood subfloor.
I guess when I worked at WTMC, it had a wood floor. I mean, you could go underneath it and knock on the
right
on the.
Well, you can still put tile on that. You have to use a subfloor.
I see what you mean. But water can get through the tile, no?
Eventually, yes.
Okay.
Water can go down through grout joints, through the joints, not necessarily through the tile itself, but it's got to set there an extended period of time in order to saturate that, in order to get down to the wood subflooring. But I mean, we're working on a house right now that had water damage from a storm, had a tree fall on it, and it got a lot of water inside, and the tile that's on the wood floor is popping up now because of that. So, it's just a matter of cleaning all that off and making sure the wood floor is, good and dried, replacing what areas that need to be replaced, and then going from there. So that's kind of the steps that need to be taken there. But a lot of times, if you're going to be putting down tile over a wood floor, you need to put like a subflooring down in order to thicken that up, make it a more sturdier floor.
We've here on a couple of the floors in the new studio, they're vinyl, I think. Nice, though. I mean, vinyl is, I guess, come a long way.
There are, and that's it. There are thousands. I say thousands. I don't know the exact number. Lots and lots and lots of different flooring products. And what one person would think of as far as a vinyl floor, isn't really the case anymore. There's vinyl products out there now that
look like wood, huh?
They look like wood, or they look like tile.
Right.
I mean, the patterns, the colors, the quality is so much different. And some of them even have a padding on them, so they're a little thicker product. And so you're walking on a nicer floor. It almost feels like you're basically on carpet.
Yeah, right.
We're doing a job for an elderly couple right now, and in going through the process of picking out flooring, the flooring in their bedroom was destroyed from a flood, and they have to get new flooring. And in going through that process, I try to give them the different options. And this couple is in talking to them, she looks at the wife, the elderly wife, looks at the husband and says, "You know why, but I would like to put vinyl in the bedroom."
You know why?
She said that to him.
Okay.
And backing up, both of them are elderly. They're both infirmed.
Right.
They both use walkers.
Okay.
And carpet, it's hard for the walker and the carpet.
So is that why?
That's what she was saying, yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know what? So she was embarrassed. She didn't want you to know.
And I think there's, also as far as, just being older and, cleaning up, taking care of cleaning the house, it'd be easier for her too. But we didn't really go into that, but that's what she says. She goes, her thing was to the husband, you know why, but this is what I want. And he said to her, someday when I'm gone, you're gonna resell this, and for resale value, I'm not gonna allow vinyl in the bedroom.
Really?
And I'm the boss. That was what he said.
Wow. So you're sitting there just hoping this all passes over, right?
and I went into the whole, telling them about all the different options and how some of them look like wood, and it's not just typical vinyl what people think of as far as vinyl, and now that they've seen some of the samples, that I shared with them, they're probably going to put vinyl in the floor.
Okay.
So, in their bedroom floor.
So he was thinking of vinyl from 40 years ago.
Or even 20 or,
Really?
Yeah. So, you look at the newer products, and it is amazing what the flooring products, the flooring industry has.
If I remember as a kid, the problem with the vinyl back then, which was 40-something years ago, was that it would crack. All of a sudden, there'd be a crack in it for whatever reason. And somebody ran over it with their tricycle, and it cracked.
Or you drop something on it and it dents it, or it tears it.
Right.
My parents, when they built a house, the first week that we had moved in, this was in the kitchen floor. The first week we had moved in, I dropped a toy gun on the floor. The barrel hit the floor.
Oh no!
And created a nice quarter-size circle on the floor, and. It was still there, when I moved away. When I got married and moved away. So, that's something that
they last.
Right.
And we have a phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Reichel.
Hey, good morning. This is Stephen.
Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning. Could you go over inexpensive flooring for a garage if I want to go ahead and redo my garage floor? We're not just talking about the paints with the flakes, with the the clear coating.
Right.
Okay. Is there any other inexpensive floors that we could use?
Well, it depends. What are you wanting to do with the floor? Are you wanting to keep it as a garage, or is this going to turn into more of a man cave? Or
turn more into a man cave.
Yeah, man.
Ping pong table, my motorcycle. The cars can come in once in a while, but mostly for a man cave.
Okay. As far as a garage, if you're going to keep it as usable as a garage, I would recommend probably painting it. And there are a variety of different paints or even stains that you could use for concrete. And then it'd be just a matter of going to like Porter Paints or Sherwin-Williams or Decorative Designs. They have right on 200. Here they have a great store, and they have all kinds of different products that can be used for that. But I wouldn't recommend, if you're going to be parking cars on it or bringing in the motorcycle, working on it, I wouldn't recommend doing any sort of a vinyl. You could, but as far as if you're going to still use it as a garage sometime and then have the guys out there and spilling things or things like, dropping a beer or something like that, I would definitely think more of the, painting or staining the concrete would be probably what I would recommend. And then it'd be just a matter of picking out what color you wanted and having a painting party.
Okay, I see. Because that's what I did. I painted the floor, and I put clear coat in, but I guess I didn't put enough clear coat in because over a course of time, the cars would damage the floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where the newer products that are out there are designed specifically for garage use or heavy trafficked areas, and I would it's a matter of making sure that you get the right product for right usage for the right product. And we've painted some porches and things like that wherever, and oftentimes they wear out or they get wet and they end up peeling up in certain areas. So I like that.
Threw a kiss.
Yeah, little boy just blew us a kiss.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I know that was a little off the, you don't get to see that. We're watching the mall traffic here, and a little boy come by and blew us a kiss. But
okay, no problem.
Yeah, as you go, just go to different stores, paint stores, or and you can tell them that. Make sure you tell them the use of what you have, and a lot of times too, it's a matter of making sure that area where it's going to be used is cleaned properly. If there's heavy trafficked areas, making sure that gets cleaned up, pressure washed or use some sort of a degreaser to make sure those areas are clean before the paint's put down.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate the call.
Thank you. It looks like we have another phone call here. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe Reichel.
Hey, good morning, Joe. My garage is a man cave.
Awesome.
And I use the, it's nicer than most houses. I use the two-part epoxy.
Yep.
And it comes with an etching product to properly clean the floor. It's a little bit of work, and it's the kind that two parts, you mix equal parts of this and equal parts of that, and then after you're done, you scatter the little flakes over it. I did that 2 years ago, and it looks like I just did it, and I've spilled everything in the world on it. If I was going to recommend that fella something, that's exactly what it's. I got it at Lowe's.
Okay.
Two-car garage costs about $49. I wouldn't put anything else down. That stuff is so nice.
What color did you use? Just curiosity.
It's kind of a light gray.
Okay. With the black and the white speckles in it, or the flakes?
Yeah. It's multicolored specks.
Okay.
And
yeah,
you don't have to put them down if you don't want to. It actually adds a little bit of traction. It is a little slippery if you spill water on it.
Okay.
You have to be careful. But I got carpet under the car anyway. But anyway, yeah. But the problem is, you said the proper thing, preparation. If you put that other stuff down,
right,
you're going to have to pick it up.
Yeah. And that's where, like you said, of using a product like that that's designed for that, and it, definitely got to make sure that it's etched properly, and as far as the prep work, and make sure all that's done so that you don't have a problem with it. I just had a lady, it's funny we're on this subject, I had a lady last week ask me about doing that. She wants to organize the garage for her husband, take everything out and paint the floor, and then organize putting it all back for him as a gift. So
that'd be nice.
Yeah. It's going to be a nice little project.
All right. Nice talking to you.
Excellent. Thanks for the phone call.
All right. By the way, everybody's invited to call. The number, if I haven't mentioned it already, is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline, 622-WOCA. One of these days we'll have a grand opening, and you'll be able to see the new studios, which Joe Reichel and his guys built. How about that?
That will be awesome.
How many places can you say? You should put like a plaque or something.
A plaque?
Something. I mean, as you're building it, there was a thing outside that said damage control services.
Little sign, yeah.
It should be a sign that says built.
Oftentimes we do that. After it's one of the things after it's done, not so much. But while we've got projects going, we keep a sign up and keep it so everybody knows who's doing it. And I like that because people are always saying, "I see your signs everywhere."
Yeah.
I like it.
And we have another phone call. Good morning. You're on the air with Joe.
Yeah. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning.
See, up north, radon gases can be a problem because of basements. Do you ever come across a situation like that down here where a person has a problem or wants to check to see if it's a problem, and if it is a problem, what can they do to correct it?
Well, it really depends where it's coming from. Not so often do you have it down here, unless the house is built in an area where, there's kind of like a basement situation. That's typically where you end up with a radon gas problem. We did have a customer of ours that we did a large remodel project for in the Dunellen area, and they were having a problem with radon gas, and they ended up, I forget how, that's been a while ago. I don't really remember offhand how they were able to take care of that, but I mean, there are definitely, a good thing to have is those alarms, not alarms, what do they call them? Like a meter or a smoke
detector,
alarm detector.
Yeah,
detector. That's the word. A radon gas detector, and that way, you always are safe. And many of the smoke alarms are also a radon gas detector, smoke detector and radon gas, kind of a dual purpose. I know a friend of mine in Gainesville, she has had a situation as well where hers was going off. And and I never did follow up on that to find out what happened. Now that
it was
I just happened to think about it.
It was the radon gas that was setting it off, though, huh?
Well, it was the alarm that was going off, but I don't remember there being a problem when they had it checked, though. That's
yeah.
But it was that she did have a radon gas detector, so.
Yeah, I know, like you were saying, I know up north where everybody's got basement up north, most people do, and a lot of people do have those detectors just to play it safe, and if they do have a high amount of that coming up, they somehow, I think they put a barrier on the basement floor to seal it, some kind of material.
It's also one of those things where it can come in through the walls as well. It can come in through anywhere, and it's a matter of sealing it, making sure it's properly sealed off so that you don't have those problems. And
it's probably better to be on the safe side and probably get a detector just to because it could be a problem, like you say, the Denell in there, and
it's always better safe than sorry, and that's just like having a weather radio. A lot of times people don't think that they need them, but
right.
I encourage everyone to get one because you never know.
I believe they from what I understand, over years of exposure to radon, it can be a cancer-causing situation there, and it's advisable for people that have been in or going to plan on being in a particular structure for many years to make sure that house is safe from that problem. But I know it's not that prevalent down here, but I was just wondering if anybody had that problem or asked to have it checked. But I think I'm going to get just for being on the safe side, get one of those detectors myself just to see what's going on, because I've got a large home here with a lot of flooring, and who knows what's coming up underneath. So
exactly.
we'll have to just make sure. Yeah.
Always better safe than sorry. You're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And by the way, if I could just interject, one of the things that you talk about all the time is damage from fire. And if you don't have a fire detector, smoke detector, and you can't afford one, the fire department actually gives them away.
Yes.
To qualified. I don't know what you need to do to prove that you can't.
I think you just need to be a resident of the
just show
county.
up. Yeah, I think so. But it's a good thing to have. I mean, there was a story just this morning of a man yesterday who was outside of his house. His dog died, unfortunately, but he was burned like 50% of his body. So.
And that's one of those things that it's not hard to upkeep, to keep up with a smoke detector, and it's something that every home should have at least one of them. Put it in the hallway outside the bedroom so that you're alerted to that. Granted, sometimes they do cause a problem when you're cooking, or the battery goes dead and just keeps beeping, but it's really scary to think about what can happen if you don't have one.
Yeah, I mean, you can fix the damage to the structure of the house, but obviously you can't bring a person back or a dog back or.
No, and if you can be sleeping and not even know that there's a fire in your home.
That's right. So I just thought I'd slip that in there, since every time, I guess it's when the clocks change, we get that message from the fire department.
Yep.
So just do it a little bit early. Clocks are changing, what, in a month or so? Something like
soon.
that. Yeah, soon.
Too soon.
Oh, you don't like it the other way?
No.
You like it this way better?
I do. I hate it when it gets dark early.
It'll be interesting here at Christmas time, won't it? I think this little walkway will become very busy. Maybe on Monday, on Labor Day.
It probably will be busy.
Are you working on Labor Day?
I work every day, 24 hours a day.
24 hours?
I do. My phone is always on.
I work every day, not 24 hours.
Well, I mean, in this kind of business, we're on call. So
I bet you are.
Disasters happen all the time, and anytime my phone rings, my job is to answer it. So, speaking of, if you ever need to get a hold of me, it's 352-817-6574, or you can email me, joe@damageflorida.com.
Does your phone number spell damage?
It doesn't.
Oh.
It doesn't. And there's our song again. I love that song.
Yeah, it's coming back. I promise. I was I just jumped the gun a little bit right there. Scared myself there.
Yeah, that was kind of funny watching you jump.
Yeah, we're distracted a lot. I know it's easy to be distracted here. Yeah, I wonder if she could hear me say that. I'm sure she could.
She didn't stop. She wasn't paying attention.
All right, here we go. We'll crank it up again. Here we go. There we go. All right, so you gave out your phone number. What else do we need to know? I can't remember. I'm lost here. I think I was distracted over there. There we go. There's the song.
You're all confused today, Larry.
Well, look at these distractions. Well, not that, but
a lot of people walking by.
That wasn't distracting at all.
People watching is fun.
Make sure you write down Joe's number. Get one of those magnets and put it on your refrigerator.
I've got lots of them.
Somebody you know might need Joe's services, or it might be you.
I'm the guy I hope you never have to call, but if you do, I want to be able to help you.
Share the information with somebody you know and love. We put these shows, by the way, on YouTube, so you can catch all of them. Share them with anybody.
Yep.
Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
ABC News Now. I'm Karen Chase. The Arab League is joining an international chorus of voices blaming Syria's government for a chemical attack on its people. British Prime Minister David Cameron has called an emergency parliament session on a possible military response. American Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel says U.S. forces